Power never comes quietly, and after everything that happened, Madame is standing on a throne built from lies, blood, and broken trust. Season 4 did not end with peace. It ended with warning signs everywhere. The choices Madame made pushed her higher than ever before, but that rise came with a price she has not fully paid yet. By the final moments, it became clear that her power is no longer hidden in the shadows. People know her name, her reach, and her influence. When power becomes visible, it also becomes a target. Season 5 begins in a world where Madame can no longer move quietly. Every deal, every order, and every mistake now has eyes watching. The balance she once controlled with fear and charm is starting to shake, and the danger feels closer than ever. At the same time, the people around Madame are not the same people she once ruled with ease. Trust inside her circle has cracks all over it. Some remain loyal out of fear, some out of love, and some are already thinking about their own future without her. Season 4 showed that loyalty can change fast when survival is on the line. Madame's rise created winners and losers, and the losers are not done fighting back. Season 5 opens with tension hanging in every room, because nobody's sure who is still on her side and who is just waiting for the right moment to turn. Club Eden itself feels different now. It is no longer just a place of control and pleasure, but a symbol of Madame's power. That makes it dangerous. When a place becomes a symbol, enemies want to destroy it to send a message. Season 5 treats the club like a battlefield, where every smile could hide a threat. The dancers, the managers, and the people behind the scenes are all part of a larger game. Madame knows this, but knowing the danger does not make it easier to escape it. The club that once made her powerful could now be the place that brings everything down. What makes this power shift even more dangerous is that Madame herself is changing. Season 4 showed moments where her confidence started to turn into pressure. Holding power is harder than taking it. Season 5 starts with Madame carrying the weight of every life she controls and every enemy she created. The throne she sits on is no longer comfortable. It is sharp, unstable, and ready to cut her at any moment. This season does not ask if Madame is powerful. It asks how long power can last when everyone wants a piece of it, and no one is truly safe anymore. Season 5 pushes Madame into a new level of danger where threats no longer come from one direction. The biggest change is that her enemies are no longer just criminals hiding in the dark. Now the pressure comes from powerful people who operate in the open. Law enforcement, political figures, and business rivals are all circling closer. These are people who do not need guns on the street to destroy her. They use paperwork, influence, and quiet deals to weaken her position. Madame built her empire by staying ahead of danger, but this time the danger moves faster and cleaner than ever before. One of the most serious threats in Season 5 is exposure. Madame's secrets are her true weakness. In the past, she survived by keeping her name out of places it did not belong. Now her name is being whispered in rooms where she has no control. Every secret from earlier seasons feels like a loaded weapon waiting to be used against her. The more powerful she becomes, the more valuable those secrets are. Season 5 shows how knowledge becomes a form of power that can be more deadly than violence. Someone knowing the right truth at the right time could end everything she worked for. Another major threat comes from old enemies who never truly disappeared. Season 4 made it clear that unfinished business still exists. People Madame thought were defeated are quietly rebuilding their strength. These enemies understand her patterns, her habits, and her weaknesses. They are not rushing to attack. They are waiting. Season 5 turns patience into a weapon. The danger here is not loud or obvious. It is slow, calm, and planned. Madame may sense the threat, but sensing it does not mean she can stop it. Internal pressure also becomes a serious problem. As outside threats grow stronger, the people inside Madame's world begin to panic. Fear changes behavior. Some characters start making selfish choices to protect themselves. Others consider selling information or switching sides. Season 5 shows how Madame's greatest threat might not be the enemy she sees, but the fear growing inside her own empire. Power makes people nervous, and nervous people make mistakes. Every mistake creates another opening for her enemies. What makes these threats more dangerous is that they all connect. Law enforcement pressure increases fear inside the club. Fear inside the club creates leaks. Leaks give rivals new weapons. Season 5 presents a chain reaction where one small crack can cause everything to collapse. Madam is forced to play defense instead of offense, something she is not used to. She must react instead of control, and that shift puts her at risk. By the middle of Season 5, it becomes clear that survival will not depend on strength alone. Madam must outthink people who are just as smart and far more patient. This season builds tension by showing how every threat is layered, connected, and waiting for the right moment to strike. Madam is still powerful, but power no longer guarantees safety. In this world, the biggest danger is believing you are untouchable when everyone around you is planning your fall. Club Eden no longer feels like a place of control in Season 5. It feels like a pressure room where everyone is holding their breath, waiting for something to explode. What once ran smoothly under Madam's strict rules is now full of tension, quiet looks, and hidden plans. The power structure inside the club has shifted, and that shift creates fear. Fear does not stay silent for long. It turns into whispers, secret meetings, and choices that can destroy everything from the inside. The biggest problem Madam faces is that loyalty inside Club Eden is no longer guaranteed. In earlier seasons, people followed her because they believed she was untouchable. Now they follow her because they are scared of what happens if she falls. That difference matters. When people stop believing in power and only fear it, they start looking for exits. Season 5 shows how several characters begin thinking about life after Madam, even while standing right beside her. These thoughts alone are dangerous because betrayal often starts in the mind long before it shows in action. Power struggles grow quietly. Some characters believe they deserve more control, more respect, or a bigger share of the profits. They see Madam distracted by outside threats and personal pressure. To them, this looks like opportunity. Season 5 makes it clear that not every takeover is loud. Some people are willing to smile, follow orders, and wait until Madam makes one wrong move. The club becomes a chessboard, and every person inside it is either a piece or a player. Trust becomes the rarest thing inside Club Eden. Madam cannot openly question everyone without showing weakness. At the same time, she cannot afford to trust blindly. This creates a dangerous balance. Season 5 explores how Madam starts testing people without them realizing it. Small changes in behavior, sudden shifts in responsibility, and quiet decisions reveal who is loyal and who is pretending. But even these tests come with risk. Pushing people too hard can force them to act sooner than planned. Betrayal in Season 5 is not always about hate. In many cases, it is about survival. Some characters believe that staying loyal to Madam could get them killed or locked away. When survival becomes the goal, morals disappear. The show takes time to show how fear changes people who once seemed solid and dependable. Club Eden turns into a place where everyone has something to lose, and that makes every relationship unstable. What makes the situation worse is that Club Eden is always being watched. Rivals and law enforcement know its importance. This means any internal mistake can be used from the outside. A single argument, a single slip of information, or a single act of betrayal can become a weapon against Madam. Season 5 treats the club like a glass house. It looks strong, but one well-placed hit can shatter everything. As the season moves forward, it becomes clear that the real danger is not one traitor, but many small acts of disloyalty happening at the same time. Madam may stop one betrayal, but miss another. Club Eden becomes the place where her empire is tested the most. It is no longer just a business or a symbol of power. It is the heart of her operation. And if the heart fails, everything else falls with it. In Season 5, relationships stop being a safe place for Madam and become another battlefield she must survive. Love, loyalty, and personal connection are no longer separate from business. They are tied together in ways that make every decision heavier and more dangerous. Madame has always believed she could control emotions the same way she controls people, but this season proves that feelings do not follow orders. The closer someone gets to her heart, the more power they have to hurt her. Madame's personal relationships begin to show cracks that were easy to ignore before. Trust becomes harder when secrets pile up. Every close bond now carries risk, because anyone close to her also knows too much. Season 5 explores how Madame struggles to keep parts of herself hidden while still demanding loyalty from the people she loves. This tension creates distance, and that distance creates doubt. When doubt enters a relationship, it opens the door to mistakes and misunderstandings that enemies can use. Loyalty is tested in quiet but painful ways. Some characters truly care about Madame but are tired of living in constant danger. They want safety, peace, and a future that does not depend on fear. Season 5 shows how wanting a normal life can slowly pull people away from Madame's world. These characters are not traitors by nature, but pressure changes priorities. Love becomes complicated when staying loyal could cost everything. Romantic connections in Season 5 are especially risky. Emotions cloud judgment, and Madame knows this better than anyone. Still, she cannot fully shut herself off. When she allows herself to care, she becomes vulnerable. The season shows moments where personal feelings almost override smart decisions. These moments are dangerous because they reveal Madame's humanity, something her enemies are always looking for. Love gives comfort, but it also gives leverage. Friendships are no safer than romance. People who have stood by Madame for years start questioning whether her vision still protects them. Old bonds are tested when new threats appear. Season 5 highlights how shared history does not always guarantee future loyalty. Even longtime allies can reach a breaking point when fear and exhaustion take over. Trust built over years can break in a single moment of doubt. What makes relationships in Season 5 even more dangerous is how enemies use them as weapons. Hurting Madame directly is difficult, but hurting the people she cares about is much easier. The season slowly builds tension by showing how her loved ones become targets. Every threat feels personal, and every loss cuts deeper. Madame is forced to choose between protecting her empire and protecting her heart, and those two goals do not always align. As the season moves forward, Madame begins to understand that emotional strength is just as important as power. She must decide who is worth risking everything for and who must be kept at a distance. Season 5 does not offer easy answers. It shows that in a world built on control, love can be the greatest weakness or the last reason to keep fighting. The danger is not just losing power, but losing herself in the process. Season 5 introduces new characters who do not arrive quietly or by accident. These are not side figures meant to fill space. Each new face comes with purpose, history, and hidden plans that immediately affect the balance of power. From the moment they step into Madame's world, it becomes clear that they are not impressed by her reputation alone. They study her, test her limits, and look for weak points. Their presence forces Madame to adjust faster than ever because these characters are not afraid of the risks that come with challenging her. Some of these new characters bring power from outside Madame's usual reach. They come with money, political ties, or legal influence that cannot be handled with threats alone. Season 5 shows how this kind of power changes the game. Madame cannot simply remove these people without consequences. Every move against them creates waves that reach far beyond Club Eden. These characters understand how to stay protected while causing damage, and that makes them extremely dangerous. They smile, negotiate, and offer deals that look fair on the surface but hide traps underneath. At the same time, Season 5 introduces characters who come from the streets, people who understand Madame's world because they survived similar paths. These characters are bold, unpredictable, and hungry. They see Madame not just as a threat, but as an obstacle between them and control. What makes them dangerous is their patience. They do not rush to challenge her openly. Instead, they build trust with the people around her, slowly placing themselves closer to the center of power. Their ambition is quiet, but their end goal is clear. Unexpected alliances form as these new characters interact with the existing ones. People who were once enemies find reasons to work together. Others who seemed loyal begin listening to offers they never would have considered before. Season 5 shows how alliances are no longer built on trust, but on shared benefit. These temporary partnerships create tension because everyone knows they will not last forever. The question is, who will strike first when the alliance no longer serves its purpose? Twists in Season 5 come from information rather than action. Secrets are revealed at the worst possible moments. Truths from the past resurface through new characters who know exactly when to speak and when to stay silent. These reveals are not explosive right away, but they change how characters see each other. One piece of information can turn an ally into an enemy or destroy a relationship that once felt unbreakable. The danger lies in not knowing who knows what. What makes Season 5 feel unpredictable is that no character feels safe, old or new. The rules that once protected certain people no longer apply. New characters are willing to cross lines that others avoided. They are not tied to Madam's code or history. This makes their actions harder to predict and harder to control. Every scene involving them carries tension because their loyalty is never clear. By the later part of the season, it becomes obvious that these new characters are not just part of the story, they are shaping it. Their choices force Madam into situations she never planned for. Season 5 uses these fresh faces to raise the stakes, proving that power can always be challenged and control can always be taken by someone willing to wait, watch, and strike at the perfect moment. Season 5 opens the door to many theories because the story now stands at a point where every path leads to loss. One strong belief among fans is that Madame may finally face a moment where power alone cannot save her. She has survived danger by thinking faster than everyone else, but this season places her against people who plan just as carefully. The idea is not that Madame becomes weak, but that the world around her becomes smarter. Fans believe Season 5 will test whether intelligence can still win when too many enemies are moving at once. Another popular theory is that Madame's empire may shrink before it grows again. Instead of constant expansion, Season 5 may focus on loss. Fans expect certain territories, businesses, or trusted figures to fall away one by one. This would force Madame to rebuild instead of dominate. The emotional weight of losing control could push her into darker decisions. Some believe this pressure will reveal a version of Madame that is more dangerous than ever. Because desperation removes limits, many viewers also believe a major character death is coming. Season 5 has been set up with heavy emotional tension, and the show has reached a stage where consequences must feel real. A death close to Madame would not only hurt her emotionally but weaken her structure of trust. Fans think this loss could come from betrayal rather than open conflict. Someone trusted may make a move that cannot be undone, changing the course of the season permanently. Betrayal theories remain strong going into Season 5. Viewers believe the traitor will not be an obvious enemy. Instead, it may be someone who has stood beside Madame for a long time. The reason behind the betrayal may not be hate, but fear or exhaustion. Living under constant pressure breaks people. Fans expect this betrayal to be quiet at first, revealed through small choices rather than one big moment. When it finally comes to light, the damage will already be done. Another theory focuses on Madame's future leadership. Some fans believe Season 5 will push her toward choosing a successor, even if she does not want to. This does not mean she plans to step away, but that circumstances may force her to share power or prepare for the worst. The idea of Madame trusting someone else with control feels risky, which makes it exciting. If she chooses wrong, the result could destroy everything she built. There is also strong discussion around whether Season 5 will end with Madame winning or simply surviving. Fans are starting to believe that victory may no longer look like control over everyone else. Survival itself may become the goal. holding onto life, identity, and purpose could matter more than holding onto power. This shift would mark a major change in the story's direction and show how much the cost of power has grown. Season 5 theories all point to one truth. The show is moving into its most serious phase. There are no easy wins left. Every choice Madam makes will close one door while opening another danger. Fans expect this season to redefine what success means in this world. Power may still exist, but peace, trust, and safety may be things Madam can never fully have again.